Hi, how are you? Welcome to the channel. My channel all about the spiritual awakening process. Anyone that's experienced or experiencing a spiritual awakening, as I have, I can relate. This could be triggered by a life event, or a spiritual awakening could be triggered by a twin flame. If it is a true twin flame journey you're on, there's many different things. So I'm here for you. So I don't think I could have an awakening channel without bringing up the subject of the dark night of the soul. It's the prelude. But before I go on, I do want to let you know that I am not officially a coach in any shape or form, even though I am thinking that might be a path for me. I'm actually thinking of getting training for that, to somehow get credentialed. Maybe I have, I don't want to do any harm, because I am not a mental health therapist or behavioral health therapist in any way. And I want you to know that I left school at 18 and didn't go to college, so it's important that I get that out there. So if you do need help, please seek it. They're here for us, they're here for you. So with that disclaimer said, let me get into it. So I know that my path was not unique when I say that the prelude to my kundalini, or the prelude to my awakening, was that of a dark night of the soul, or an ego death. For me, it probably built up over a good couple of years. It was a very distressing time. I thought I was going through a depression, and again, maybe I was. Refer back to the original disclaimer. I even thought it was a midlife thing, because now I'm 50 years old, but in my late 40s, I thought maybe I'm having a midlife crisis. There's all kinds of theories I had going through my head. All I know is I don't know why I went from happy and content, for the most part, just getting on with life, to suddenly dipping and feeling almost emotionally burnt out. I felt detached. I felt no meaning in life anymore, and I had no interest in doing much of anything, or at least I had lost the interest of doing what I used to do. And it actually came to a point, this is a vulnerable moment that I don't mind sharing with you now. It came to a point where, fast forward to, I want to say around 2022, I was in my car alone in a strip mall, rain pouring down. I partly pulled over because the rain had gotten heavy. It was a Saturday. I was out just window shopping and shopping because I had nothing better to do that day. But I had to pull over, and the rain was so heavy that no one could see in the car, or there was no one around anyway, which is just as well, because I was in tears. Out of nowhere, everything had got on top of me. I was distraught. It occurred to me that in 100 years' time, there will be no evidence of Melanie, of me, that I'll be erased. Descendants, so many generations would have passed to where I'm just a distant ancestor memory at best, but probably not a known one. And I realized that there was a high chance that I was about to leave, not about to, but I was going to leave this earth with no legacy whatsoever. And it just burst out of me. It was something that was bottled up and then suddenly exploded into tears and just sobbing. I was sobbing away. I did not know at the time, I did not realize it, that not only was that highly typical for someone undergoing a spiritual awakening, but that it was normal. It's the normal part of the process. It's the early days, is the precursor, for me anyway, it was the precursor of what was to come. It was the precursor to wake me up and snap me out. And boy, was the next couple of years a roller coaster. Fast forward a few years, I am literally going through a kundalini. I'm begging the universe again for answers. A lot had happened in those 2 years. I won't go deeply into it. But cycles of feeling in a dark place. And then there is anguish. Anguish with the people I knew. Anguish with the people I met. I felt left out in the cold. I felt unrecognized. I felt deeply unrecognized to where I was not valued. I did not feel as if anyone saw my worth in this world. I wondered what the point was. I thought, is this it? Is there no more to me than this world? When I go, is at the end? Am I wiped off the face of the universe? This can't be it. And I repeated that. This can't be it. There has to be more. And then eventually a complete awakening. Some describe it as a kundalini. But my energies rose up through the anguish to where I literally burst out of myself. And I realized that I'm actually part of everything. Everything is eternal. There is no end of me. I am just as we all are. We're all together. We're all connected. We are the legacy. The legacy is universal and the legacy is eternal. That Melanie has absolutely nothing to worry about. And that her story is not over. Melanie has many more decades of story left to go, and perhaps there is going to be a legacy from her point of view, but that's okay, because I'll still get to spread and be eternal, and there's many other realms literally to explore. So I hope that makes sense. What followed was psychic abilities coming online, very fascinating. Clairaudience, claircognizance, little bit of clairvoyance, clairaudience for sure. Angels speaking with me in the night. Angels showing me the path of numerology and what numbers are and what my life path number meant for me. Number 3. The synchronicities were off the charts. The synchronicities were so out of the world that it was no mistake that basically I was living in a matrix. This was the way. This matrix is real. It's not pretend. It's a part of the divine. It's just matrix in the sense that it's, some call it earth score. It's the place for our souls to grow. And boy, was I being shown that my soul was growing and evolving. And I may have had my ups and downs since then. This was a couple of years ago, and I will still continue to evolve and to grow. That's part of the process. But one fundamental knowing still remains, is that I am not suddenly going to disappear. There is going to be a continuation. There is no end of me. I will live on as I always have. I am eternal, and I hope that's how you are feeling too, if you are here as a result of an awakening, or hopefully I can help you understand that is who you are. That is how I want you to feel, because it's true. Okay, so I know this may have sounded a little woo-woo if you haven't gone through an awakening, but I know that you are waking up because you're here. You found me. You're probably seeking out spiritual topics online, or what's even more cool, as what happened with me, maybe they're finding you. Either way, it's your process of awakening. There's more to your story right now than meets the eye. And when you start to see life unfold and you have these things shown to you, it's going to be mind-blowing. There's, it has been an emotional roller coaster, but there's some cool aspects to it. I mean, I've always had wild, wacky dreams, and I've always been an empath. I've always been intuitive. I got into tarot in the 1990s. It was always a faith. It was always a belief. It's always something I trusted was there. Fast forward to spiritual awakening, I did not have to have faith. I did not have to have trust, because it was just is. It's a knowing. It is a knowing. It's a deep inner feeling of knowing how the universe works. So I already know that I am, and I already know that for you, we are one shared consciousness. So I really am sharing this video in part to journal. There is something in it for me too, because it's not exactly something I can bring up in conversation with everybody I know and everybody in everyday life, including my own husband and daughter. He is aware that I had gone through a spiritual transformation, but not to the extent that I had just expressed to you. But I also want to bring this video through to let you know that it is normal, it is common what you are going through when you are undergoing an awakening. A dark night of the soul, or ego death, is designed in place to eventually have you realize that you can detach from yourself, that you are not the human body, you are not the mind, the brain, the ego, the gender, and you are not even your thoughts, and you are not your experiences. You're not even necessarily your hopes and dreams. That's you, the person, the divine human, the beautiful divine human, who I hope is around for many, many more decades. But you, your consciousness, is the soul, is the observer. And that's what you intuitively come to learn. And you don't have to have a full-blown kundalini to come to this realization. It's part of a waking up process anyway, and that could be where you are at. And I believe, as I have read, and I can feel it anyway, is that this is happening across the planet. There's a lot of people waking up, and it's a way to bring up the collective together to raise the frequency. So, hard story, I know. But thank you for letting me be vulnerable with me. Thank you for letting me be vulnerable with you. Thank you for staying to the end. And I hope I was able to bring some insight and some clarity to let you know that what you're going through is normal. Again, does not matter if it was sparked by a twin flame, or a drastic life event, or something, like a passing of a loved one even. Some folks have even had a near-death experience. Some folks have even been taking magic potions, been on something, whatever. It may have, however your kundalini, however your awakening came to be. It was designed by your soul. Your soul wanted to wake you up in this lifetime. And boy, did it. Right? And I think that's still happening for you, even if there is no physical timestamp, because you are here, you are watching me, and you are probably seeking out other advice. And I know that I say this lightheartedly, because it seems to me that everyone who is awakened or searching an awakening path is being guided to read The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. That seems to be all of us. Somehow, some way, that information comes to us. Eckhart Tolle YouTube videos actually popped up on my YouTube feed out of nowhere a couple of years ago or so. I wasn't even looking for spiritual. I was actually looking for how to handle stress in life. I was still pretty much in the 3D matrix, and then that's how he came into my consciousness, because he came with the principles of relax, we are in the power of now. So read that book if you haven't been guided to already. I don't read as much as I used to, so I got the audio book. I'm good. So again, remember my disclaimers. This is a sensitive topic. It does bring up and mention things like depression and anxiety, and even of feelings of worthlessness. I am very conscientious of the fact that I am not a trained therapist, and that I do have to be careful with how I articulate. So I do want you to take this video, take my messages, and use your own discernment. Just let me know your thoughts and feelings, but get help where needed. I am actually looking to train. I think this is a direction for me. I feel as if I am being guided. I think that I have been given a soul's mission as part of my awakening to help others. I'm not special in any shape and form. And when you go through an awakening, you realize this. You are not higher or better than anybody. You are equal. I am as equal as a brand new soul here on earth that has not gone through an awakening. We are all on the same path. We are just in different spots on that same path. So I'm with you. I know I can learn from you, and I hope that I can spread the word a little bit. So I'm here. So with that, thank you so much for staying until the end. I appreciate all of you. You can see I am a very, very young channel, very young. So your support in subscribing will make my heart jump. And the likes and the comments. So with that, I'll leave it at that. And until next time, take care. God bless.